The People's Choice. From Mason's Edition, over the hill, Grahamstown, Baintown, from everywhere they're coming. They're the People's Choice, the Saxon Superstars.
Hello? Who's in the morning?
Boots!
Yeah, yo, Jordan, we're finishing.
a scripture I think that's very appropriate and written by Solomon. Solomon says, woe to the land when a slave becomes king. That word woe means the land is in trouble. In other words, when a slave becomes king means that even though you give the person power, they still think like a slave. And nothing is worse than a powerful slave, because the mentality will destroy the people. So wearing a crown doesn't change your mind. It exposes it. And this is why you need that period in deliverance to try and change the mentality of the slave. Because if he doesn't have a mental transformation, the slave will be no benefit to freedom.
So they have, this look like a police surveillance vehicle, taking surveillance, I guess, of Lincoln's, of the Coalition of Independence headquarters. That is AG 3141. And it looks like persons are inside the vehicle. I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know if these are police officers or whom they are, but they have been circulating and circling the coalition. Okay, that's a police chief. So that's a police vehicle, and they've been circling the Coalition of Independence headquarters for the last hour and a half. So I don't know, guys, if you all feel as if we're not a threat or what exactly is the point of this. But obviously, we are under heavy surveillance now.
Girl, Bahamian people never on time.
Girl, I know.
I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We did it again. We started with no sound again, but of course I'll do that for you. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you are tuned in from. The audio is there now. We continue to make this mistake, but we're sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your tuning in. Thank you for being here with us. We look forward to having another amazing week this week. We had an amazing week last week. And of course, we have some things we have to cover today, and we're going to cover quite a bit of things today. And a couple of those things, if you look at the description, one of those things is the conversation that I had with the Prime Minister that absolutely disgusted me. I'm going to start with that. The next thing that we want to cover is this right here. This. We'll get to this. Another thing we have to cover is the police's crime report. That is what this is that I was holding up earlier. The police crime report. When you hear this crime report, you're going to be extremely disappointed. You're going to be probably even extremely disturbed. This is the reason crime is so high in this country, and I'm disappointed. There's no hope here to solving crime. But we're going to get to this. I'm going to read this to you, parts of it, and you may be disgusted. But the police are busy going on to farms and harassing women, sending heavy machinery and heavy guns to Goodman's Bay to harass Bahamians, and having the CID murder squad investigate unlawful assembly and idle assembly. Only in the Commonwealth of Narnia. We're also going to talk about the opposition and the question answer period that they had and the questions that they asked. We're going to touch on this. They also asked for a special committee on immigration. We're going to touch on that. The opposition is they need to get it together. They are a waste of time. All right, but we'll get to that and some more things as we go. All right, so we're going to cover as much as we can tonight. So let's go. You know, normally I ask you where you're tuned in from, but I got to get straight to this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll start with this before I talk about the Prime Minister. This is a special device that you can put in someone's vehicle, their house, or anywhere you want it. And with this kind of device, you can track them and you can listen to them. This kind of device goes with a SIM card that you could use to help with tracking. And they can, from any phone, computer, whatever, they can call this device at any time and listen in to you. That's how powerful this device is. It's a very special device that they place in my house. Yes. So let's test the device and see if it's working. Let's see if we can reach who probably is the owner. Come in, Philip Davis. Philip Davis, can you hear me? Come in. Come in, Philip Davis. Over. Are you listening? Philip, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I know you wanted to talk. That's why you put the special device in there. Can you hear me, Philip Brave Davis? I don't know what it is you want me to say to you. I don't know what you're listening for. But whatever you're listening for, I'm an open book. And as you can see, a lot of what I do is out there on social media. And that's how you can listen to most of what I do. So you don't really need this. Because every time you do this, Philip Davis, we're going to find it. And we're going to let the world know. So technically, we really don't know if this is you, but there's no one else that it could be. And when I say you, I mean the government that you're managing. You're responsible. So, Philip, if you can hear me, keep listening because I got a lot to say to you and to all of the old guard. The new Bahamas is coming, and in fact, the new Bahamas is here. And y'all can get ready for it because it's going to roll y'all over in any event. Get with it, or it's going to get you. The new Bahamas is here. These old weapons are not going to work anymore. We can find these. I can go on my device and find when you put a device in my building. It's very easy. I shouldn't have told you that, but brave, y'all give me a challenge, please. This is not challenging at all. Y'all have the dumbest trolls who are putting out fake CNN reports saying that I am a terrorist and they can't even speak English. Why do you get these trolls who are criminals or ex-criminals with nothing else to do with their lives and get them to put things out on social media? Please get some PLP supporters who can read and who can write. I know that's going to be a challenge. I'm sorry. Continue to use the D average because someone has to be a D average to still be following the Progressive Liberal Party at this time. Someone asked me to respond to these fake stuff that they're putting on social media. I don't have time. Because if I have to get distracted responding to everything they do, all they have to do is keep putting lies out there. What I want the general public to do is ignore these lies. Just ignore them. Don't share them. And if someone shares them to you, you check their mental health. Because something has to be wrong if someone is sharing something from a PLP paid troll who is paid to lie. And so stop sharing these stuff and don't ask me if this is true or this isn't true. No. I need you to use some trolls with education, man. I need a challenge. I love a challenge. And I'm not challenged by you guys right now. It's like the government is slow. The corrupt police you use are slow. Your trolls are slow. Your members of parliament are slow. We need you to catch up to the 21st century because these old weapons are not going to work anymore. The new Bahamas is here. And you can fight as much as you want, but nothing can stop this move of God. There it is. So I'm going to deliver this back to the office of the Prime Minister. Brave, I can send a package with this. Say, don't be scared because you're scared of your own shadow now, apparently. You're scared of everything. Yesterday at the House of Assembly, they had barricades all around it and police ready. They thought we was coming there to protest. I don't know why they have the House of Assembly like a jail cell now. They have yesterday barricades all around the House of Assembly, double barricades, like two. Like you may push down one, but you can't push down two because they're so heavy. Like seriously, why are you all double barricading? I really don't understand. But we can talk some more about that in a little bit. Here you go. Brave, I'm going to send this back to the sender. So, ladies and gentlemen, they will do anything to stay in power. They will do anything to continue their reign of terror and the rape and robbery of this country. That's the FNM and PLP. They will do anything to continue their reign of terror. We have to stand together as Bahamians, black, white, whatever you are. We are Bahamians. And we have to do something new, something different. Whatever has been happening has not been working, and it's time for the change. We got to wake up. I don't know why they feel that destroying me is going to destroy this movement, that lying on me or getting charges on me is going to destroy this movement. Philip Davis, there are too many Bahamians who are now awoke. This movement isn't about me. This movement is about the Bahamian people. And nothing you do is going to stop this movement. The momentum is too great now. You need to wake up and realize that the Bahamian people are awake. The Bahamian people are awake. I don't know what you're looking for. If y'all would just reach out to me and ask me for some dirt on me, I can help y'all because I don't have nothing to hide. Just reach out to me and say, Lincoln, we need something on you, man, because ain't nothing really sticking because it's mostly a bunch of lies. And as much as we try to twist the truth or twist something here and there, it ain't working. So just come to me, humble yourselves, and come to me and say, Lincoln, help us, man. Help us fight you. Because y'all are not making sense. I've not been convicted of a crime in this country. I've had trolls call me a criminal, that I could have just taken them and filed complaints against them. But I understand that they're Bahamians trying to eat. And as disturbing as what they do is, me and Marie have decided, they call me a criminal. I've had them call me a thief. I've never been convicted of any theft in this country, or any country, or any crime in this country. I've never even been convicted of a traffic offense in this country, or any country. Have I made mistakes and done wrong? Yeah, I've done some wrong. Like all of us have. Like everyone in the Bible has. I was on the police force for 10 years. Never got put on a disciplinary charge once. Never been charged for being late, being uncapped, being insubordinate. Nothing. A perfect, spotless record. I don't think the commissioner could say that. Spotless record. I've been in business for a very long time. They can't say that any company I own had any infractions with the law. Don't owe customs nothing. No infractions with customs. Don't owe BEC nothing. Don't owe NIB nothing. Don't owe any bank anything for any business. Don't owe any staff. No business has been accused of any wrongdoing. It's me. Have I had business disputes? Yes. I had a business dispute recently that went to court. It's going to the Privy Council. Someone we tried to help. Say she put money for this when we disagree with her. I don't have time to run on with that. The Privy Council decide. And however they decide, that's how it'll go. If they say pay her, we pay her. If they say don't pay her, we say thank you. I don't have time to run on with that. But they ask her, I don't want to discuss it. He's going to the Privy Council. But they can't say in all of this stuff that they've seen that I've done, all of these years, not one infraction. They tell some lie about me taking over a church. I say this because you're looking for something, and I'm trying to help y'all. And if y'all call me and tell me what y'all looking for, I could just help y'all. They say I took over a church. I never took over a church. They talk something about Potential Church. I was never a member of Potential Church. Potential Church shut down. And we opened a new church called Purpose Church. Had nothing to do with Potential Church. But a lot of the people, not all from Potential Church, came to Purpose Church. And we had a very amazing church. We touched a lot of lives. And one police in South Beach area told me that because we got a lot of the young men to get off the streets and come to church. It's like they was coming to church every day. I was known as the pastor who would ride around in a bus with 40 young people every day during the summer. Every day they'd want to be in church. They'd want to be around me. They would learn lessons. They had songs I would put on the radio. They would play basketball. I would go every Saturday and play basketball with young men, put them in tournaments. I spend my money to feed persons every single week, twice a week. I fed about well over 100 persons, sometimes up to 200 persons, every single week. I paid the church's bills. We had a church of 80 to 85% teens. Teens don't pay tithes, they're not able to. And so when the lockdown happened, we couldn't maintain the, I think it was $10,000 to $15,000 bills weekly. And so we moved on. And I got a prophecy to me to tell me it was time to move on, that God wanted me to do something with this nation, that something was about to happen, and he was going to use me to do it. I heard some people saying, why did you leave the church? You're supposed to still be in the church. Martin Luther King left the church because he knew that the work he was doing to fight for the people was the work of God. And so he was a pastor for 5 years, and he left the church to focus on fighting for our civil rights. And because he left the church, we are able to go in a restaurant when we go to Miami today. We are able to go in the bus when we go to Miami. We're not discriminated against. Or he could have stayed in the church and do the little ritual every Sunday and sing the same songs and get people saved. And they would be saved, but I had to sit in the back of the bus. I believe that this move is a move of God. That's why I'm here. All right. And so, like I said, I've made some mistakes in this life, but nothing that is anyone's business or so bad. I will tell you, I've been fighting powerful people in this country, the government, our homes, all these powerful companies, even banks, insurance companies that were wronging people. And if they had something on me in this last 20 years, they would have done finished me. Think about it. They putting these little fake charges on me. If they had anything of significance against me, I would have been gone. They all about trying to find something because they can't find nothing. If they had something on me, I would have been gone long time. So like I said, like every business person, I've had business disputes. That's a part of doing business. But I've helped young people open businesses. I've been an angel investor. I've done business boot camps. They asked, what am I successful at? I've had business boot camps where over 1,000 Bahamians were allowed to come out and learn how to do business. And many of them went into business. I've had business boot camps to train thousands of people over the years. I've taken Bahamians to China to help them to cut out the middleman. My boot camps were very successful. I've taken people to China. They've cut out the middleman. Did extremely well. Some of them didn't, but some did it. Has been about empowering people. Everything. Because that's what my life work is about. And that's why I showed you my book, Identity. Is about helping people find their purpose. I wrote a book. I sat down and wrote a book to help people find their purpose. That's what I'm about. The reason I'm fighting this is not just for you to benefit from your natural resources. It's so that we could be in a situation in this country. You said they're messing with the sound. I saw something pop up just now. Okay, it's good. You know, when I studied countries like Qatar, Dubai, Norway, and these kinds of countries, do you know what I see? I see that when the people started benefiting from their natural resources, they started to be able to do what they love. Instead of having to do a job because they just need to make money and they're not doing what they were born to do or what their gifts is about, Enough of that. Bahamians are so talented, but we are slaves. And our entire system is only about slavery. Every day you hear Chester Cooper bragging about giving away more of our land to these foreigners, and they're going to make more of us slaves and jobs. Some of this audio is scrambled. Let me just do a little quick check. And check on the audio. The audio isn't scrambled. Maybe you need to come out and come back in, because we're hearing the audio very well in here. Yeah, so maybe you need to go back and come back in. All right. So, like I said, I'm on a mission to empower Bahamians, and this has been my mission for the last 2 decades. There's more I can talk about the things I've done. I've been very successful. They ask, what do you? Someone asked me in the flea market in Grand Rapids, what do you do? I'm an IT person, and I've been very successful at that for a very long time. A very successful IT person. They can't pinpoint me and see exactly what I do, but I've been very successful at that. I've run some very successful retail businesses, some that I sold out. I voluntarily retired at a certain point. I had a business attacked and burned down. It's part of life, but that's me. So what I'll do, Brave, is I'll sit down after my live and I'll recite my life story, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'll let you ask questions. I'll give you my number so you could call me. And you don't waste time with this stuff, because I'm not dumb enough to talk anything of our plans where I usually am. I'm not going to talk plans in my car, in my bedroom. Do you think I'm that slow? I've been fighting you for 20 years, and we've won every single battle. What am I good at? Being an activist and fighting for Bahamians. I'm good at that. Fighting for other people. That's what I'm good at. Now I'm fighting for this entire nation. All right. And so I'm going to move on. I had a conversation with the Prime Minister. I decided to visit the House of Assembly Monday after going through what we went through in this country. That has never happened before in this country, where persons were attacked because they felt that they were going to do a protest. Doing a protest is not illegal. Nothing like that has ever happened in this country. Pinland didn't do it. The UBP never did anything like that. Ingram, Minnis, no one ever did anything like that. And whenever they arrest you for anything political, they might arrest you, but then they let you go. There was a third party that once handcuffed themselves to the mace in the House of Assembly. Yeah, they locked him up and then they let that go. All right, they dropped that. You know, there were some people who got locked up during the lockdown. Minutes, they got locked up, and Minutes let them go. Like, come on, we know they were. It was just a demonstration to fight for the people. So why be so vicious and angry at people? Milo Butler, they lock him up. He'll go and protest. They'll lock him up, and then they'll let him go. Pinland with the mace and the hourglass, that was criminal what they did. They threw it out. Come on, man. Yeah. They let that go. But this man who say he nice, I went in the House of Assembly and they always seem so terrified when I walk in there. I walked in that House of Assembly after they did what they did and thought that they could break me, but all they did was make me stronger. And all of the people who slept on the concrete floor for more than 48 hours, for more than 50 hours, they made all of us stronger. I walked in that House of Assembly and it was like a lion walked in the House of Assembly, because they always get timid when I walk in there. I don't know why. It's like they're like a deer in the headlights. Everyone always goes quiet when I walk in the House of Assembly. Sure, I've noticed that. Like, no matter what talking they doing, back and forth, when they see me walking there, it's like everyone's scared to look. Like, oh my God, he just came inside. They do it every time. This time, more of them eventually warmed up and they were friendly with me. Keith Bell gave me a wave, hail all the way from where he was sitting. Dr. Hubert Minnis surprised me because me and him ain't no friends. And he got up and he was walking on. He said, "Hey, Lincoln, how you doing?" And I looked at that demon and I gave him a dap or whatever. I said something to him, so okay, bro. And I kept looking at what was going on. Other persons talked to me. The Minister of Environment came, Vaughn Miller. He came and he said, "Lincoln, I want to talk to you." And he took me outside and, he talked to me and we had a conversation. I'm going to leave that for later. And I warned him that he has to fight for the Bahamian people. I warned him. I think the video is gone. Just hold on one sec, ladies and gentlemen, while we get this video straight. I warned, we're still here. Okay, so we'll switch. That device went berserk for a second, so we'll just switch in until that is able to catch itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we got to do this. And so I told them, that we have to fight. We have to give the people what is theirs. I told him, I said, "Vaughn Miller, you were the champion of this, not me. You went in the House of Assembly and fought for the people. I said, you have to stand up and fight now. I said, I am coming to give them what belongs to them, but why should we wait? Why can't you fight for them now? What is silencing you?" And I told them, it's going to happen. You're going to be on the right side of history or the wrong side of history. And I told them we should benefit from our carbon credits. We can't let them rob the Bahamian people. I said, all of you stood in that House of Assembly while Brave Davis was taking away our sovereign wealth fund. All of you. The opposition didn't say anything, and none of you said anything. And you who fought and talked about the limestone and brought the documents in the House of Assembly, you said nothing. I said, that is cowardice. He made me some assurances, some promises. I won't repeat them yet, but I spoke truth to him. After he spoke to me, the Prime Minister walked out of the House of Assembly, and I walked up to him. He was very timid. He had 2 bodyguards around him, and another gentleman was there. And I told him I need to speak to him. And he said, "Okay, give me a second." And he spoke to one woman, and then he came back. I said, "I need to speak to you." He said, "Okay." And flanked by the bodyguards, terrified, I don't know why. I don't want to beat him. I want to beat him at the polls. I'm not going to hurt him, but we're going to beat them at the polls. So I said to him, what has been happening and what happened at Bahama and Goodman's Bay should never happen in this country. I said, we have to fix this. I said, you have to fix this. Not meaning that specific instance, but all of what has been happening with our rights being taken away. Going to the office of the Prime Minister and not being able to deliver a letter. Getting arrested at the House of Assembly. These cases are still going on. And it wasn't about the cases I was asking about. It was about the whole thing of Bahamians being treated like dogs in this country, like dirt in this country. And they would never do that to even illegal immigrants. I said, we have to fix this. And he said, well, how could I fix it? And I don't know about it. I don't know what happened at Bahama. What happened at Caracom? He said, I don't know. I said, if you don't know what happened to Bahamian people at Caracom by the police officers you sent there, you don't deserve to be prime minister. You need to step down. How could you say that this thing was on the front page and the inside page when you turn in about not only these women being assaulted, but a reporter of the Tribune was thrown on the ground? The photographer of the Tribune, his camera taken. How do you take someone's camera? For what? In a public place. And arrested, I'm told. And then later when they found out this was the Tribune reporter, they let them go. Damage already done. Because when I was standing there, they were interviewing me. But I was arrested for idle assembly, for being interviewed by the media. He said, I don't know. Lincoln, I don't know. What happened? I don't know what happened in Caracom. And I told him that he doesn't deserve to be prime minister if he doesn't know what went down. I said other world leaders knew what went down. Other world leaders, other prime ministers talked about this. This made Caribbean news. But he don't know. But that's the same old PLP lie. The same lie Perry Christie used to always say. Remember when Perry Christie never knew nothing about nothing? Remember? And he'd always form a committee for everything. They the same old cycle again and again and again. The same old cycle. Again and again and again. Remember Perry? Oh, I can form a committee, and these committees never come back. He said, I don't interfere with police, with police matters. I said, no one is asking you to interfere with a police matter. We're talking about the whole circumstance of Bahamians being treated like dogs and their constitutional rights being taken. That is what we have to fix. Oh, well, you see what happened to me. You see what happened to me. What happened to you? Oh, well, the fellow who's going to court this morning at 10 a.m., the fellow who threatened me. I said, threatened you? I said, that fella didn't threaten you. The words he said, he didn't call your name, not that one, not at the House of Assembly. He said, there's a new one. I didn't hear about that yet. He said, there's a new one. I said, what do you mean a new one? Yeah, the new one. He's going to court this morning. And so his defense of old ladies being tackled, body slammed, choked, kicked, stomped, device taken and slammed on the ground, device taken from them, people being kidnapped, held for over 48 hours. His response to that was, but look what happened to him. His response was, but look what happened to him. They're saying that a young man called the police station on Saturday. He didn't call Brave. He didn't call Brave's office. He called the police station. And he allegedly said some things. I heard the fake PLP reports out there that people shouldn't even be sharing. I don't know why people are sharing that. But I heard the fake PLP report said that he called the station and said that they better let me go, or something going to happen to Lincoln, something like that. Something going to happen to Brave. I think that's what they were saying. Why would someone call after I'm released? If that's a follower or supporter of the COI, they showed a picture of a white gentleman. Why would he call on Saturday a day after I was released, and then gone live and tell everyone I released, and the news and everyone to know we released. Why would he call after that and say release Lincoln Oil? I mean, come on. I mean, the stories were so mixed up. 1 minute he was 18, then he was 21, then he was 22. The stories were so mixed up. I don't know. I'm getting in that. I ain't interested, but it's just that when they lie, if we get to a point where we can't trust the police, we got a serious problem. I'm not saying this in reference to his case. I mean on the whole. If we get to the point where the police are putting out statements, like if you look at that statement that the police put out about what happened at Bahama and CARICOM, and then you look at the reality and look at the videos, that is shocking. It says 18 adults arrested by police reference to unlawful assembly. Police arrested 14 adult males, including the leader of the Coalition of Independence and the COI, along with 4 adult females. There were 5 females, to correct that, for unlawful assembly ahead of the 2023 CARICOM meeting. So CARICOM wasn't going on yet. And so I don't understand the security thing. And it wasn't even going to take place there that night. Anyway, initial report indicates that sometime between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Wednesday, the 15th of February, 2023, officers posted at various checkpoints in the Western District of New Providence for the protection of VIP guests attending the CARICOM meeting. The CARICOM meeting didn't start yet because here they say ahead of CARICOM, but they say for the protection of the VIP guests attending CARICOM meeting. Maybe one of the PLP trolls wrote this. I think they thought that wasn't true. Because CARICOM wasn't starting until that night, which they acknowledged it was ahead of CARICOM meeting. And here they said to protect the guests attending CARICOM, said they were met with resistance from a group of persons. Wow. The group who did not have proper authorization to hold a protest. Wow. This coming from the commissioner that I met with, days before that. Wow. Were asked to disperse and leave the area immediately, which they refused. Wow. Subsequently, 18 persons were arrested for the following offenses: lawful assembly, resisting arrest, and causing nuisance. Well, I didn't see no causing a nuisance. I didn't see anyone charged with that. But anyway, this is the police. I guess they just want to destroy their reputation. Police wish to inform members of the public the safety and security of all diplomats attending CARICOM will be treated seriously and restricted informers of how many Bahamians have been lied on by the authorities? How many? You see, one thing about a lie, when you tell a lie, you have to remember so much. See, the truth you don't have to remember because the truth just exists, it just is. But when you tell lies, you have to constantly remember the lie you told before. In that one statement, they confuse themselves. But I'll leave that. And now we see what happened in front of the cameras, and you saw the police officers trying to take people's cameras afterwards. I mean, they on camera trying to take people's cameras. It's Narnia. They're on camera trying to take people's cameras because they realized they messed up. But anyway, I won't talk about that. Jesus. And so Philip Brave Davis, that disturbed me, that brief conversation I had with him, that really disturbed me. The way he lied and said he didn't know what was going on. The way he lied and pretended he didn't send the police there. The way he lied and said, I don't know what happened. What happened is we, the Bahamian people, messed up by allowing you to become prime minister. But we are going to fix this. We are going to fix this. because there's no way I'm going to see women abused and beaten as happened, and you say nothing, and I say nothing. I'm going to fight this tooth and nail. Tooth and nail. You don't have to worry about that. This means war. War meaning that it's time to fight for the new Bahamas, politically. And I have to say these disclaimers because this government is so petty and childish and easily offended, that you're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to assemble. We are under a demonic dictatorship. Philip Brave Davis must go. You are going to pay each of those 18 persons that were arrested and everyone who was kidnapped, removed from that scene and dumped somewhere else, and everyone else y'all put your hands on, everyone y'all told to move from here to there, which is called compulsion in the penal code, which is the same as an assault. It is a type of assault. If you tell someone, move from here and go stand there, that is compulsion. It is the same as an assault. You tell someone, move from here, go to Goodman's Bay, or we can lock you all up. It's compulsion. It's against the law. The Nazi tactics won't deter us. And so we are planning a protest in the U.S. I see that there's a protest planned. There's something planned for June 2nd. I will not be participating in that June 2nd thing. I got a lot of calls from a lot of our supporters in the United States, and they were concerned that it is a platform for someone who wants to launch a political campaign, and they feel uncomfortable. And so my supporters are uncomfortable, my executives are uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable. And so that June 2nd thing in Miami, I will not be participating in that. Again, I don't have anything positive or negative to say. I'll leave that there. But that is a platform for someone who's trying to build a platform. I spoke to the person after my supporters had concern, and I came to the same conclusion. The person told me that they want to launch a political campaign and run in South Eleuthera. And so really that seems to be what this is about. I won't be participating in that. But we will still be going to Miami in March. So we have been invited by supporters there. Genuine supporters, they're not doing it for political reasons. Genuine supporters who are there, and they are doing this because they are incensed. They are disturbed at what happened to the Bahamian people, and they want to organize a protest. So we're going to give you the date in short order. We're not going to say the date here, but we're going to give you the date. So it's going to be in March. So make sure, get ready, get ready to buy your tickets, do whatever you have to do to get over there. If you're in the United States of America, I don't care, Texas, New York, wherever, get ready to fly down. Where else we're going to have protests at the Bahamian Embassy. And we're also going to have a actual town hall meeting event for in Miami for all Bahamians there to educate them about what's been going on, what's happening with our natural resources, with our sovereign wealth fund, etc., with immigration and what's happening. So we're going to invite some persons. We're going to take them over with us. This is going to be powerful. So make sure you're a part of this. I don't want to talk too much because we have enemies and they're gonna block. All right, and so. Like I said, there's something planned for June 2nd. I will not be participating in that. I heard someone say that I told them I'm coming to their house. I did not tell anyone I was coming to their house in Miami, and I don't know about that. All right. Now, In terms of a protest in Miami, yes. But we are going to be protesting, and some persons over there are arranging that, and that's that. All right. So I hope you understand that, and that's that. I don't want to go back and forth with that. Okay. And so I'll move on from that. Now, I just wanted to quickly touch on a couple other things. Um, as we go. One of them is, uh, should I deal with this police plan, or deal with the opposition first? Which one do you want me to deal with? Police plan for crime, or the opposition and their questions? Y'all let me know. I'll take a second. I know it's going to take about 30 seconds for y'all to be able to respond. I know it's going to take a second. Y'all have the police plan, or these opposition questions next? Police plan, or someone said police plan, or these opposition questions? All right. This police plan, opposition. Okay, opposition winning, police plan. All right, the opposition, crime. Oh Lord, we tie now. Come on, opposition. Oh, opposition taking over. Okay, plans, opposition, police plan. Well, y'all want to hear about both, so I think we better just do both. All right, opposition. Okay, opposition just took over. All right, so the opposition went in the House of Assembly, and they had some questions for the government, and it's called Opposition Day, and they put some questions down. See, now police plan takeover, but it's too late. Y'all came in too late. All right. So I'll get to the police plan right now, and y'all gotta see this. Do not move. As a Bahamian citizen, y'all got to see this police plan. Jesus, help us. But anyway, the opposition, I want to thank the person who sent this up for me, to give me the document. I didn't even ask for it. Thank you, man. I really respect that. We appreciate you. And so they gave me the questions, and so they had several questions that they asked to the government, and there was a couple good questions here. But when I went through the questions, and trust me, I read all these questions. All right. When I went through the question, I saw questions about BPL and this. They keep talking about this BPL thing. I saw questions about procurement, and they didn't, disclose something on time, etc. And so some good questions here, right? But they asked you about Colby, something about housing, the contract for housing, the Pinecrest subdivision. They asked, a couple good things here, right? So I'll say, okay, you ask some questions. I saw no questions about our sovereign wealth fund. No questions. I saw no questions about our carbon credits. No, not one. No questions about how NIB is going broke because the government has been squandering NIB, and now they're raising NIB so that we could pay for people like Leslie Miller's bill. Leslie Miller got $30 million, and he has the nerve to still come on national radio, and people entertain him. That man took $30 million from us. 30. And then they use NIB to pay it in Resolve. They formed a shell company, a fake company. In any other country, this might have been even illegal. They formed Resolve and put the debt of all of these PLP trolls in Resolve to take the debt off of BOB. Otherwise, BOB would have to shut down. But they took the debt, and instead of making them pay it back, they made us pay it. So that's $100 million while you claiming your NIB and can't get nothing. All right? So am I to say that the opposition and Michael Pintard is not concerned about our sovereign wealth fund? Am I to say that? Not one question. Am I to say that you're not concerned about our carbon credits and the things that people care about? What about questions about immigration? Are y'all really concerned with the things that we're concerned about? I don't think y'all concerned with the things we're concerned about. Now, there was also some, and I was shocked to see some of the questions and to see how they just ignore certain things. Who says, what about Obi and Pleasant Bridgewater? Yep. Now, they had some stuff to do in the House, and all I see is repeal, 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 repeal this bill, repeal that bill, repeal this, going in the House to just repeal, to get rid of things that we need. Repeal, repeal, repeal. I mean, this was so sickening to see what the agenda of that House was. It was so sickening to see what the agenda of the House was. A bill for an act to repeal and replace the Public Procurement Act so that they could give away the contracts and don't have to account. They went in there and they're going to make it so they don't have to account for the contracts they give out, and they give it to whoever they want to. The PLP has now learned to steal like the F&M used to steal. The F&M used to steal right in front of you, right in black and white. The PLP used to steal under the table and in secret. But the PLP has now learned that, hold on, all we got to do is put it in the law, put it in an act, and then do it, and we ain't really stealing. And so a bill to repeal and replace the Public Procurement Act. Next, a bill for an act to repeal and replace the Law Reform and Revision Act. A bill to repeal the National Health Insurance Act. Why are you touching that? And why all this appealing? Like, what happened to our Freedom of Information Act? Why everything is repeal? All I'm seeing is repeal this and repeal that. The opposition did something else. They were trying to move to have a select committee on immigration. These committees have never come back with anything. And so the fact that they are putting in for a select committee to do something means they don't really want anything done. So they wanted to go to committee so they can say, see, we call for a committee, a select committee. But they know the committee is never going to do anything. So that means when they get in, they can continue with the same foolishness. But why would they do a select committee? That is very ineffective. And this is why they don't want Lincoln being in that House of Assembly. And this is why they are trying to go after Pinewood hard right now. They give Pinewood everything they want. If you in Pinewood, listen, this is your lucky day. For the next 3 years and 7 months, whatever you want, your dreams will come true. Because they are so terrified of a real man in the House of Assembly. It's mind-blowing. What they should have done, two things they could have done. One of them was they could have put in for a commission of inquiry. They're the opposition. They can demand that. On immigration. Dig up who doing what? Who putting out the illegal passports? Cause them to dig up how people getting these illegal passports. Who signed this for you? Where did this come from? What did the director do? What did the assistant director do? That's what they could have done. Yeah, I got that. That's what they could have done. All right? But they didn't. They could dig up, use a commission inquiry to dig up everything that's going on right now, investigate all these passports and all these illegal work permits and all this kind of stuff. And no, they don't really want that. That's why they don't want a real man in the House of Assembly. They could have also just tabled bills in the House of Assembly to protect our immigration, to protect our country, to protect our borders. But no, they don't want to do that. Because by doing that, they would have forced the government to show the people that they are voting against their best interests. The government can easily vote against a select committee by saying, oh, what is for? We need no select committee. But if a specific bill with a specific protection, like, hey, we want a bill to make it so that no immigrant can become prime minister in this country or governor general. Then we watch them and see how they vote. Everyone watches them. You see Pintard? I'm teaching you. Someone tagged Pintard. You put the pressure on them. Do you see how Lincoln Bain would write to them and give the demands, and then they have to start filling demands because pressure is on them? Pintard, you see? Don't worry, young man. I will teach you. Continue to follow me. So now the government is dealing with immigration because we put the pressure on them, and the opposition is dealing with immigration because we put the pressure. Understand? And so instead of putting real pressure and getting what needs to be done, the opposition flopped badly. And so in the meantime, while they are flopping, we are being invaded. Today, I got calls out of the roof. I couldn't even function today. We got so much calls from persons at the airport. The airport was flooded with illegal immigrants. Flooded. Well, sorry, I shouldn't have said illegal, with immigrants. Flooded. Everyone who works at the airport said they never saw this many immigrants coming in ever before. It's like they are just flowing into the country. They said the plane will go out with a few people and come in loaded every time. Bombers there. Notice they didn't stop the visas. If they brought our diplomatic corps back from Port-au-Prince, how are they getting visas? Someone explain that to me. They brought our team back from Haiti. They flew them on a helicopter to the Dominican Republic and brought them back. Where these persons who coming in, 149 or something like that, on each flight, Tuesday and Saturday, plus, that's Bahamas Air, plus Pineapple Air, plus all these other charters, where are they getting the visas from? See, this while they flamming you about what they're going to do. I'm tired of hearing what y'all gonna do. We didn't have minutes say this. But I can explain something to y'all right now. Let me show y'all what's been happening. So this was today. Oh. Sorry, this is at the airport today. That's the back of the line. That line stretched from, that was the last conveyor belt on the far side, all the way to the customs stations. It's the back of the line. That's in from Haiti. Coming in, dressed. Look at them. Look, Bahamas, look. Look. This while brave them flam y'all and tell you what they're going to do. Keeping y'all distracted. There's plenty money. They come in on visas and they overstay and don't go back. And then they sell them their papers. And this is how they make it money. See? It's them. Today. Look. Look, it's them. This is in the airport today. I mean, custom officers called me today. Porters called me today. Police officers called me today saying this is a travesty. This them meeting their family outside. Y'all better wake up, you know. This their family waiting for them. Straight to the shanty town. Y'all better wake up. This is a takeover. Listen to me now, or wish you did later. The PLP is not the PLP, but the government has persons who are making money selling these documents to these illegal invaders, these criminals who are taking our land. And that translates into this.
My name is Sean from Marshall Barbaco. I've been a resident here for 38 years. Today's date is the 9th of February 2023. As you can imagine, being here for 38 years, I've noticed more illegal migrants in the last 3 years than I noticed in the last 20 years. Our numbers are climbing through the roof. One of the things that I think that's contributing to this is the growth of the shanty towns. I've been video recording these huge houses, apartment complexes that's being built to house the new illegals entering the country. I'm also concerned that the shantytown is being used as a safe haven. And my belief is if we could get rid of the shantytowns, we could eradicate the safe havens for the new.
I won't play all of the rest of that, but you know exactly what is going on. You know, one thing that the Minister of Immigration was on a show yesterday, right? And he was talking about the shanty towns. One thing he said was in Abaco, and he was saying, "Oh, there's this long road for a mile or two to get in there. So by the time as you get there, you know they already know you're coming in there." He was talking about the farm, which is an absolute lie, absolute nonsense and BS. They keep not talking about SC Boodle Highway, where it's right on the side of the road. And I watched that show and I was like, this man is just lying and lying and lying. And how much more is BAME supposed to take? And he talked about the fact that when they go to do raids, people already know they come in. Like they already get warning. He said in Harbor Island, that's why they can't catch them. They went there in Harbor Island, but they couldn't catch anyone. And so they're doing raids, but they can't catch anyone because they're getting forewarned. Now, a person being paid by this country, Rodney Munker, who people say, you know, call my name every day, but I don't really listen to those shows. Rodney Munker said on his show, he's a consultant for the government, and it's related to the Ministry of National Security, which immigration comes under. He's a consultant for the Ministry of National Security. He said on that show himself that he will inform the Haitian people when the government is going to do raids. That was his words. That he will inform the Haitian people when the government is going to do raids. Isn't that powerful? And now the Minister of Immigration is saying, oh, they're informing people, they're informing the illegal immigrants that we are coming. Shouldn't you lock that man up and inquire? Shouldn't you grab his phone and ask him if he's been informing these people? He said it with his own mouth. That's his words. Go grab his phone, grab his computer, lock him up, and question him. See who he's been calling. That may help. So, I'm going to skip off that for a second, of these treasonous people. And I want to touch on this. Then I'm going to open the phone lines. I'm going to touch on this. This is the police crime plan. See, the nice, pretty document. The Commissioner's Policing Plan. The Commissioner of Police is supposed to do a plan every year that he submits to the Minister of National Security, which is his plan. All right, and that's just informational. The Minister of National Security is not the boss of the Commissioner. All right, he doesn't control the Commissioner, but they do a plan to submit to government so the government can do their budget, et cetera, and know what's going on. Now let's look at this plan. There's a beautiful picture of the Commissioner right there. All right, nice. Now, policing crime plan. That's your table of contents. Sorry, you can't see it well. Table of contents, nicely put together. It's a statement of common purpose and values from the Commissioner of Police. I actually ain't got time for that. There's some fancy words. Commissioners forward, and then they talk about this is the plan. This is the 6 priorities. The plan has 6 priorities. Okay, and I'm going to read those 6 priorities for you. Listen to the 6 priorities. This is the plan to solve crime in the Commonwealth of Bahamas. Priority 1, revolutionize community policing product to prevent crime. Revolutionize community policing product to prevent crime. The details. The ability of the force to implement proactive crime prevention strategies at the community level to build a safer Bahamas for all Bahamians and visitors. Is that a sentence? This is what it says. This is on the first one. The ability of the force to implement proactive crime prevention strategies at the community level to build a safer Bahamas for all Bahamians and visitors. That's not a sentence. Is that a sentence? The ability what? Will be enhanced. Something is missing. Let's go to priority 2. Priority 2, zero tolerance approach to minor and major crimes. Are you saying that you tolerated crime before? I always heard him talk about this zero tolerance, right? And like no one has caught on to say that don't sound right. Or you tolerated some murders. Okay, yeah, just a little murder. Don't worry about it. So you tolerated some drug dealing? That's what you're saying? Come on, little grievous harm. Stop complaining. Walk it off. Walk it off. Priority 2, zero tolerance approach to minor and major crimes. This is a plan. I ain't had no sound like a plan yet. Let me read the details what they say. The Royal Bahamas Police Force will take a zero tolerance approach to all minor and major crimes to prevent further escalation into more serious matters. The Royal Bahamas Police Force will take a zero tolerance approach to all minor and major crimes to prevent further escalation into more serious matters. Why does it sound like someone in primary school write that, man? They have zero tolerance to prevent further escalation into more serious matters? I think I need to read that again. Because maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. The Royal Boundary Force will take a zero-tolerance approach to all minor and major crimes to prevent further escalations into more serious matters. Shouldn't you prosecute crime so that people can pay, so that we can recondition persons, so that we can correct their behavior? But you're going to have a zero-tolerance approach to minor and major crimes to prevent further escalation into more serious matters? Okay, you murder someone, right? We have to have a zero tolerance to murder so this doesn't escalate into more serious matters. Let's keep going. Remember, this is the government that said the solution to rape was to give every woman a whistle. The one promise they could fulfill, they didn't fulfill. The ladies, did y'all get your whistle? Anyone got their whistle yet? Priority 3, restructure internal process to impact crime prevention strategies. Restructure internal process to impact crime prevention strategies. Jesus. Restructure internal processes to impact crime prevention strategies. What did they just say? I know I'm educated. Details. The Royal Boundary Police Force will improve its internal process for accountability in an effort to change its perspective on crime prevention. Read that again. The Royal Boundary Police Force will improve its internal processes for accountability in an effort to change its perspective on crime prevention. So the police force wants to change its perspective on crime prevention. What was your perspective before? What was your perspective on crime prevention? The Royal Bahamas Police Force will improve its internal processes for accountability in an effort to change its perspective on crime prevention. What? Meanwhile, just bring out the big guns for the women and gun butt them and body slam them and kidnap them. Number 4, partner with law enforcement counterparts to expand policing capacity. What y'all wasn't partnering before? Is the Royal Bahamas Police Force will expand its law enforcement capacity and resources by partnering with local, regional, and international law enforcement counterparts to assist with crime prevention and intervention strategies. Is that a plan? Seriously? Someone says Keith Dumbbell wrote that. Someone says shoot first, ask questions later. Lock up first. Ask questions later. Kidnap first. Ask questions later. Keep them for over 48 hours because you'll forget the Constitution. Don't worry about that. Law? What law? Number 5. Proactive approach to youth and gang violence. What does that mean? The Royal Bahamas Police Force will tackle crime from its roots with a valiant attempt to save the lives of young men who lead in demographics for suspects and victims of serious crime. How will you tackle crime from its roots? With a valiant attempt. Jesus. Oh, Lord. Priority 6, the last one. Yeah, that's it. Is it? Optimize technology in crime prevention and police operations. Optimize technology in crime prevention and police operations. The ability of the force to seamlessly integrate information technology in police operations to aid in criminal investigations and crime prevention. That is not a sentence. This is the sentence, y'all. The ability of the force to seamlessly integrate information technology in police operations to aid in criminal investigations and crime prevention. Full stop. It starts with the ability of the force to seamlessly integrate information technology in police operations to aid in criminal investigations and crime preventions. You have to add something there. Will be enhanced. What will you do with the ability of the force? Will be enhanced. Say something else right there. Then it becomes a sentence. You need a verb. Now I understand. After reading this, I understood what happened on Friday the 15th. Sorry, on February 15th. Sorry about that. On February 15th, Wednesday, February 15th, I understood fully. And then they go into details, and I won't bore you all with details because it's really insane. And if I read you all some examples, you may get stressed out. One of them is that they can start looking on social media. They can start looking on social media to help them find criminals. Do I think I'm joking? All right, optimize technology in crime prevention and police operations. Merge police technology with intelligence-led strategies and on-the-ground optics to aid police operations. Activate automatic vehicle location. Establish electronic monitoring unit to track the movement of suspects on bail for serious offenses, and when necessary, utilize historic global positioning of suspects to aid police investigation. That's the plan. You already have the spot shutter. You already, because that's what they say in here. You already have that. You already have, what do you call it? The electronic monitoring. Next, use Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and the force's website to reinforce and disseminate crime prevention literature. That's the plan. 6, expand shot spotter technology in Grand Bahama and other strategic areas in the capital to assist with crime prevention strategies. Utilize social media platforms to assist in tracking down wanted suspects and missing persons. So they can use social media. That's the plan. Expand the use of CCTVs to include Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini to assist in police investigation operations. Let me help you with that. The police say the CCTV in Nassau ain't working. How you expand the Grand Bahama? And they feel like it's off intentionally because like the government wants crime. I can't go through all of these things, but let me help the government with how they could stop gangs and all these other criminality and this kind of stuff. One, you know where the drug hotspots are. Everyone know where the drug houses are. Everyone know where they are. If you really doing community policing, you know where the drug house is. Why are you locking them up? I would park a car right outside the drug house. Because now, no one is going to want to come to that drug house to buy no drugs. Because whoever go in the yard and come out, you're getting searched. How about that for policing? Park the car right there. They talk about they're going to do saturation patrol and they're going to have more cars driving around with lights on. Listen, lights on? To let the criminal know that you're there? Oh, wait till the lights go. Then we robber. Lights on. All right. Target the drug hotspots, but target them in the right way. In terms of the money, just follow the money. These criminals need money to buy drugs. They have safe houses. Use your intelligence to find where the safe houses are. Like how you listen to my phone calls and you tap in my house. Put somebody is in the drug dealer house. Find out where his safe house is. Put somebody is on the drug dealer car. Follow him to the safe house and confiscate his money. I can bring this back to y'all, so y'all have an extra one because y'all may need as much as possible. No, I carried it to Brave. Ask Brave for it. Follow the money. Take their money. And then they can't buy drugs. Game over. But y'all ain't gonna do that, hey. No, hey. All criminals need money. Shut off the source and it over, whether it's the banking system or the safe house. Like on Paradise Island, remember where we went? That used to be a safe house for drug money, for drugs, etc., etc. Safe house. I bet your crime gone. But y'all don't want to stop crime. We'll give out some crime plans later. I've been giving crime plans. So it's sickening to see, that this is acceptable. And instead of y'all really addressing crime in this country, like that, see this? That's it. That's the crime plan. Y'all sending police to attack Bahamians, men and women. Only in the Commonwealth of Narnia. Now, back to immigration, then I'm going to open the phone lines quick. What happened was the government stalled for over a year while illegal papers were being sold. A lot of money was made. So that when they go to do raids, they say, oh, these people had papers. That was the stall tactic. And that stall tactic continues. In fact, right now, our inside source says Brave is praying for Fred Smith to appeal the case, but Fred Smith isn't interested in appealing the case. He's calling Brave's bluff. Brave wants him to save him by appealing it. And so we're waiting to see what happens. That's what they're doing. I want you to understand that we are in a crisis. And we have to do something. They are making money from this at your expense. I'll open the phone line so I can answer any of your questions that you may have. We answer questions every time. But the plan that Brave has is this. There have been meetings that they've had with outsiders, and they plan on building and going to some of the immigrants, getting them housing secretly, and then going and doing some demolition so they look good. But they're going to house these people. There have been meetings. My name has been brought up at these meetings. They say I'm a threat to immigration. So keep, I know what to say. The government asks the outsider for $11 million to build a base in Inagua and to build housing for these persons to integrate them into society. all the Bahamians who need housing, and their priority is on these immigrants. I want you all to wake up, Please wake up. So to make it look good, they can move them and then start to break down some houses, but them ones can be straight. Watch. Everything I say comes to pass. Watch. 803-5995 is the phone line tonight. 803-5995. Call us in. Let's talk. Let me know what you have to say. I'm cutting a movie tomorrow in a shanty town, so I'm not going to reveal it now, but tomorrow, just be close by your phone. You may get a notification. I'll keep checking because a lot of you don't get my notifications anymore. Make sure you go and check to make sure you get notifications from me. A lot of people are saying they don't get notifications. Yes, they have been blocking notifications from me, so you don't know when I go live. I'm cutting a movie in a shanty town tomorrow, an absolute movie. All right, so make sure that you're there to see exactly what's going on. All right, and then on Saturday we're going to another shanty town, and we're going to be demolishing. But we're starting tomorrow to make something happen. All right. So that's tomorrow afternoon. Make sure you're tuned in, paying attention to what is going on. All right. So we'll make sure our team sends out notifications. Make sure you're in the WhatsApp groups too, so you know what's going on because they're blocking everything. All right. There we go. So 803. Let me make sure this isn't on silent. I'm so sorry. It might just be. Yep, it's on silent. Okay, you can call now. We already had 4 calls. Call now. I'm sorry, you missed me. 803-5995, 803-5995 is the number. You can call in now. It's not on silent, but it still isn't ringing. I don't know why. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good night, President Bain. How's everything?
I am awesome. How are you?
Pretty good. Bahamas. Please focus on my words for the next 45 seconds. Do you all know how many spousal permits are granted per year? Well, I don't. And just imagine this. If the immigration grants 50,000 spousal permits to women a year, that means those women can have one child for 5 years. And that would be a total of 250,000 people Bahamians. And then in 23 years, all of them will be able to vote for whoever their parents tell them to vote for, or the nationals. What do you think about that, President B?
Say the last part again. I didn't hear you.
I'm saying that people having babies, the women on their spousal permits, if the government grants so much, you can imagine if they have one child per year for 5 years, if it was 50,000 granted spousal permits, that would be 250 babies within that 5 years.
There is an attempt to breed us out. There is an attempt to flood us with these illegal immigrants, and we just have to stand up. And I want to thank everyone who's been standing up, but that's what they're trying to do. Your numbers are correct.
Mr. Bain, you said Qatar have a thing on their passport where you have to marry or have that baby for a Bahamian citizen. You understand? You can't just come into their country and have a baby on a spousal permit and think you could be citizenship and be entitled for all the natural resources. You understand, President Bain?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're doing a great job. And if it wasn't for you, I would not know. And this is the only thing I'm going to talk and say. So all those people coming in, whether they're on spousal permits or whether they're on visas, the same goes Bahamas for people coming here, women on their visas. If they overstay, they can have a baby, and that would be a Bahamian citizen automatically. Thank you, good night, and please change all that, Mr. Bain, and don't give up. I wish you all the way, and I can't stop talking about you. Good night.
Thank you. Continue to spread the word. Continue to spread the word. That's how we're going to get this done. Mouth to mouth, door to door. Mouth to mouth, door to door. Let's spread the word, the message of a new Bahamas. You got to go there and evangelize. Evangelize means, Eve means like evacuate. It means to move. And angel means the message. So evangelize means to move the message. Good evening, you're live. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm just calling to let my message said just now. What I'm thinking is the same way how we have these old passports, and I knew Bahamas would be how coming the next election. We need to just have our organic payment, have a different color passport, maybe aquamarine passport.
Yes, that is the plan. We are going to have different passports. We're going to be a new country.
Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you. So yes, we are going to have new passports. We're going to be a new country, and that has a lot of ramifications, very positive ramifications, which means we can start over with a lot of things. All right. So we're going to have new passports, and you're going to see. We can't reveal everything now. 803-5995 is the number, 803-5995 for you to call in. 803-5995. Those are the numbers. I am disappointed, and the police is going to say that I was ridiculing them, but no, man, we need results, man. This isn't it. This isn't it. I'm not impressed with this. I'm not impressed with so much effort. You literally used the murder squad, 3 officers from the murder squad to investigate. Good evening, you live?
Hello, Mr. Lincoln, the President Ben. How you doing, sir?
I am awesome, man. How you doing?
I am wonderful. I am one of the proud 10,000 COI voters.
Thank you, man.
I voted for Ferguson, man. I'm afraid. I'm sure I didn't hear the Standing Short and Freeport.
Okay, awesome.
Man, I want to say something to think about United States security.
Mm-hmm.
If the police could do this to law-abiding citizens in the day with cameras broken, what could they do to people with minor crimes? There were a lot of people with minor crimes. I mean, I can't believe it. I can't imagine what they do to people like that.
Yeah, that's serious. In broad daylight.
Cameras rolling.
Yeah.
Tourists on the beach, tourists on the street.
Tourists saw that.
And they don't care.
Tourists saw that. Tourists were disturbed.
What happens over there when a minor crime is going on? How does the police be professional in that situation? Is it not something to think about?
It is.
And you know the sad thing about the whole thing? We still gonna have, I will say stupid, but I don't like to say stupid people. We're gonna have some behemoths who are still gonna see red and yellow, regardless of what condition we are. This is very sad.
Yeah, it is.
This is unbelievable.
It is.
So, we have damage, we have got to probably do for a second. And just look at our current conditions compared to what it was 10, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And really and truly, that nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, we got to run. We got a lot of people trying to call in.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man.
Enjoy the night. Continue to fight.
You too, man. Good evening, you're live. Good evening, you're live. Okay, we lost him. We'll get the next one. Good evening, you're live.
Good evening, Mr. Bain. This is Jeff calling from Bradenton.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Where are you calling from?
I was watching from Bradenton in Brighton, Florida.
Wow, okay.
I was watching that video with all of the people coming in. Man, listen, I honestly think that they should stop all flights coming in from that place.
Yeah.
They have to put a stop on all visas.
Yeah.
And Bahamians, listen, y'all need to stop listening to what these politicians tell y'all and watch what they doing. All right, because they tell you a lot of stuff, but you watch what they do. They playing a lot of trickery and a lot of games with you. And I know Mr. Brave Davis is listening. Mr. Brave Davis, you said nothing about the sovereign wealth fund in your 15-minute address. That was a waste of time. You need to do better as a prime minister of the Bahamas and look out for the Bahamian people. What happened on February 15th It's appalling, and that should never happen in this country. For the police to tell the people to go to Goodman's Bay, and when they was at Goodman's Bay, and they want them to go in the water? What kind of thing is this?
Yeah.
All right, look here, Mr. Bear, you just keep it up. Keep up the fight, all right? Now, see you when you come over here. You just let me know your dates and times, and I'll be there.
Yes, we'll be there soon.
All right.
All right, thank you. 803-5995 is the number. Okay, here we go. Good evening, you're live. I'm awesome.
Yes, how you doing, sir?
Awesome, man.
Poor people defender. That's what you are.
Thank you, man.
Poor people defender. I only go on to buy your contribution. Again, I is the guy, I don't know if you remember, I called him twice from Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to watch these politicians, because Leslie Miller was on another show earlier today, and I don't know if you was hearing it.
No.
But I called him just because he's trying to dump on you, on Michelle Mountain Show, whoever she is.
What was he saying?
Just talking about what it is you fighting for. We don't like, he discount the people who are rolling with you. You understand? And they're just a dead allegiance to a political party would totally destroy this country. You know what I mean? And nobody really checked him. He was just like, made him get indirect, and he was like, oh, what job you created, and making this and that and this. You know, he sounded like a donkey to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't want the reason, because like I said, since I came back home, I want to open your eyes to something else too. Not only watch the paperwork and how they giving that out, because you know everything is inside that shanty town.
Yes.
Everything is inside the shanty town. Now let me show you something what plenty people didn't know, because you hit on to something but then you let it go. You know, like how you was talking about they get to pick up from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are they getting picked up from the airport, you know, the work permit with the people who picking them up on, they getting them issued for the people who are coming in. Now let me show you how this goes. One of my apartments, one of the guys who had a work permit, he had some Haitians. Like every other day or so, I see a different face. So I started getting rid of that. Like, I ain't promoting that no more. I was wrong on that end by hiring him. I can admit that, but I ain't promoting that no more. So I asked him, I said, well, how you get, if you want a permit, how you get lawnmower in the yard if you come here for us like you know, a certain type of job? But not only that, he hiring the people who they bring in, he hiring them and leaving them to cut the grass, like to cut the grass and then. So anyway, I threatened to call the immigration and whatnot on it. So when I went in, the guy was trying to pull me over who brought them in. Let me tell you what is very interesting. The place where he gone, that blew my mind, because it was some white people who ain't even from the Bahamas who get him. You get like I said, some white people who on, I think, residency or whatever, they bring him in to, I don't know, do some type of class or anything. You don't tell me we don't have no people here to do that.
Wow.
You get that kind of, I try to call the immigration to let them know, like, basically what's going on here, because as I dive into it, I start to read the Constitution. Anybody's supposed to have no law and more business except the humans, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, only the humans supposed to be, like, if you have a place, like when they bring in these work permit, they supposed to have a proper place for them to be residing in, right? Correct, right?
Correct.
So now let me ask you a question. What is the hold up in the shanty towns? Because I went into the immigration office today, and I asked them, what warning that they give in Abaco when they demolished the place where the behemoths
The domes.
The domes, right?
Yeah.
What assistance was given to them? What let's just say what warning was given to them? And did anybody any follow up to find out where these people was or where they are today? Then I asked him on this end, if everything is done illegal and against your constitution, remember now, whatever laws they write, if I'm feeling this right, supposed to be in compliance with our constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care who's a landowner, I don't care who are crown land. Once the person build on it, once the person occupy, everything is illegal to me in that framework, right?
Yep.
So here's my dilemma. If they want to keep saying, okay, linking this, linking that, and linking this, that's why I call you poor people friendly, because you talk in poor people language, which I can understand. You make me understand this. What it is you defending, and why are you taking so long to demolish? It doesn't matter if you calling it inhumane, humane, whatever this you want to call it, because you know like that word is call us whole, what that word you like to call them, it's the Haitian, but you call them by their nationality. The one thing you need to speak up on, the guy telling me his son born here. I keep telling him, if you read the Constitution, even Article 7, our Constitution was not addressing Haitian people. It was not. Even when they said when you reach 18, that was not addressing Haitian people. It was not. So I mean, whoever dwelling there, even when the law put it down, like to say that y'all cannot expand on what y'all is doing, and they still do it, does that look like any people you have sympathy for?
Yeah.
And I keep saying, no, hear that good. Does that look like anybody you have? Look at the people who homes get burned down. The man been in there for 38 years. Think about that. 38 years and not paying no taxes, rent, light bill, water bill, sanitation bill, 38 years. And because he didn't bill it and stunned it to get wiped away, but he stand on his ground on your TV, looking for sympathy, but nobody look at the wrongness they done. Yes, it's a Christian nation, but at some point in time, I even question Martin Luther King. Why you didn't turn around? One day you're going to have to turn around and fight back. You understand what I'm trying to say? One day you will have to turn around. That's why I say that they asked me between Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King. Love him to death, but I like Malcolm X because that's something you think you're going to have to say. You're going to have to defend this country like any means.
Let me help you with that. And I used to feel the same way. Malcolm X actually didn't fight. He talked. All right. I'm not saying he didn't do any good things, but he talked rough, which was bad for Negro in that day. They felt like you shouldn't say anything. Just like today, they kind of beat you down for what you say. He talked rough, but he didn't go there and do anything. He didn't block no bridges. He didn't go and sit in the restaurant when they told him he couldn't sit and do it. But he just talked. Martin Luther King, the difference with him is he said, listen, we're gonna block this bridge. We're gonna sit in this road, and you're gonna have to send your dogs to bite us. And his strategy was to get the world to see America doing their darkness. The reason he didn't fight back was the same. That was the reason, and you can look at it and what they do with the COI. They would, when we come to do a peaceful protest, we would come, we would apply, do what we're supposed to do, and we would be there being peaceful. The police would then come, attack one of us, or start trying to arrest somebody. But the news and the media would only show the response. People trying to defend themselves after being attacked by the police, so that they could spread this narratives that we are violent or that we don't do things the right way. And so Martin Luther King said, you know what? Don't fight back, because then the news is only going to show us fighting back. They can show us responding. It's like when you're in class and the person hits you and you say, man, stop hitting me. And the teacher only see when you respond. And so Martin Luther King said, you stay here, let them attack us, but the world is going to see them attacking us. And that was his strategy. And he beat them at their own game, because America was pretending to be the policeman of the world. So if you are so good, if you say Hitler racist, why are you doing this to your own people in this country? And that's how he defeated them. So it wasn't that he didn't want to hit back. It was that he knew that you could be like Muhammad Ali, take them blows, rope it up, and then when they get tired, and knock them out. And that was his strategy that many people didn't understand. They thought it was better to just go and say some rough stuff.
But here's, and you said that, I'm glad you educated me on that. But let me show you another bit. The last millennium of the word, if you run back what he was running on, where he talked to us like we humans, because he called us scouts, the couple of scouts. Who are you talking to? Because when they're looking for vote and they say every vote count, even down to the 1%,
Yeah.
every vote count, right?
Yeah.
But now that you're in Parliament, you calling me scout. Go and see what he's running on with on that. I didn't like him because he disrespected me. When there's a lot of disrespect to go across, and here's my last point I can make. I have no respect for a nation that burning down their own SHIT. I have no respect for that. And let me tell you why I say that.
Yeah.
Everything you fight for, what you said first, I was on the fence and they listen. Then you say, nah, look here, you could get this. They laugh. They say this, they was laughing at first. Now
Say selling dreams.
Hey, how do you talk about that? They repeat it. It's like you was the God, he has the son, and you guide him. You understand what I'm trying to say? They repeat it. Let me show people what I say. If you didn't stop them from burning down the forest, who was going to do that?
Yeah.
If you didn't show how they messed up the water pole, the tables, who was going to do that? If you didn't want to show it to Albuquerque and say, look here, this was here, now this here, who was going to do that? If you didn't pull this person up and say, look here, this paper ain't right, you ain't right, you was not a behemoth, you not a behemoth, who was going to do that?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? If you was going to say, okay, they're trying to upgrade us and whatnot, who was going to, there's a lot of who's to go around,
Yeah.
right? And I'm asking, again, who was going to do that? So being the people looking at it, if they can hear you, because people feel what they don't understand. I say them, stop looking at them people as victims. I go onto YouTube, I challenge anybody to go on YouTube and say the crisis in Haiti.
All right, we gotta go, bro. Thank you for your call, man. Thank you for your call. I appreciate that. I want you all to give me a second. I just want you all to see this. This is from this book. Everyone will get this book and read this. It shows you a lot about our history. I want to show you how nothing has changed. Pay close attention to this. All right. This talks about the early days of the PLP, and this talks about the PLP and how they were a small party, a ragtag party. They called them the party of beggars. They thought they would never win. It would be impossible for them. And so I want to say this to encourage anyone who might be out there and you might think you're small or you can't do something. Nothing is impossible. This this is talking about how they sold out to Wallace Groves and they sold out all this stuff to Wallace Grove for basically nothing and all this corruption that was going on. The Progressive Party did not agree with this giveaway of the people's land by the white minority government. That's talking about Wallace Groves. The PLP pledged that, and Wallace Groves is Freeport, if anyone who don't understand that. The PLP pledged that whenever they came to the government, they would repudiate the Freeport contract, mean get rid of it. Notice that it happened, right? But anyway, let's keep going. The Freeport contract. But at the time, no one believed that the infant political party would ever get off the ground. This is early PLP. Much less become the government of the day. The backgrounds of the men who led the army of beggars, the PLP, that's what they call them, the army of beggars, meaning that they were a bunch of nobodies. They're a bunch of people with nobody. They had nothing. They was broke. They was poor. No education. No, sorry, not the education part. No experience in nothing, etc. The party of beggars provided a study in contrast. And so I'll skip over that. But that was talking about the early days of the PLP, and they said certain things about them. That was interesting. I want you to hear this piece about Cat Island. This is really important. Remember, I always tell you that the majority of people voted against the PLP in 1967. The majority of Black people voted against the PLP. They voted against themselves. They didn't believe that Blacks could run this country. They voted against themselves. And they voted against themselves because they were taking bribes from the government. Y'all stick with me. Listen to this right here. This is this history right here. So they were talking, this is two people having a conversation about, the different barriers and all that was out there. And then this is a conversation about Cat Island and how two people were running for Cat Island. One is H.T. Christie, you know that name? H.T. Christie used to be the MP for Cat Island. Watch this. He says, before I could answer affirmatively, William W. Cartwright, because they were trying to get together with Randall folks, right, to work with the PLP, right? And they told them whatever you could do alone, we can do better together. So there was still the problem of trying to get everyone together, the same problem that the third parties are having today, all right? So I'll read through that. It says, true, Randall, sir replied, but whatever you can do alone, we can do better together. Now, will you join our party? They're trying to get Randall into the PLP. Before I could answer affirmatively, this is Randall talking, Randall Fox. William W. Cartwright, the treasurer of the PLP, walked up. After determining the trend of our conversation, he blurted out, "Man, everyone knows a Bahamian woman cannot vote. If that isn't discrimination based on sex, then I'd like to know what is." During the 1949 general elections, Cartwright continued, "I was a candidate for the Bight Cat Island, a totally Negroid constituency, all black people, which has consistently returned to the House of Assembly a white man, Mr. H.G. Christie. On the last night of my campaign, I took Dr. C.R. Walker, here are some names, along to help me convince the patriarch Sammy Swain that he should vote for his own people at least once in his lifetime." It was trying to tell the black people in Cat Island, listen, man, just vote for a black man just one time. You see how our mindset? Just vote for a black man. Just vote for your own people. Listen, they're trying to convince Cat Island. Dr. Walker was at his absolute best, being C.R. Walker, on this occasion. He brought to my cause his arsenal of reason, logic, until it seemed as if Brother Swain was almost persuaded. He's trying to persuade Brother Swain, who is like the influencer in the Bight Cat Island. I felt that, at least in this case, the British brainwashing process was a failure, since our people were brainwashed. Seeking to wind up a successful day, I inquired, "Now, Brother Swain, are you going to vote for me tomorrow morning?" "Well, Mr. Cartwright," Swain replied, I like all two of you now. So this is what I decided to do." After a long pause, Swain triumphantly blurted out, "I will vote for Christie, the white man, and pray for you, Mr. Cartwright." Do you see the mentality of Bahamians from then? They switched from one nonsense to another nonsense. Now Cat Island is just voting for Brave Davis, even though he ain't never do nothing for them. There's a brainwashing on our people. There's a brainwashing. It's amazing. Now watch this. This is something that they wanted, that he wanted people to understand. All right. You visit the homes the night before election, money, sacks of flour. All right, just hold the line for 1 second. I just want to finish read this, right? You visit the homes the night before election, money, sacks of flour, bottles of rum, peas, and corn are given to the people, and they vote the way you want. This was happening from then. Not this in Carolina, this the whole Bahamas. Said an election official in Fresh Creek, Andres. Sorry, it's Andres. I see nothing wrong with the system. It has always been that way. The voter, he continued, has always been for sale to the highest bidder. So this is an election official saying, listen, there's nothing wrong with people getting some stuff when it's election time. This is just the way it is. It's official. But Andrews Island was preparing a surprise for the Bay Street merchants because they would just come and buy them out, like how the PLP and F&M are doing now. This is what they learned from the white man. So they could continue making you slaves, but now you have a black slave master. So they had a surprise for the Bay Street merchants. Androsians were the first to take an independent stand against election bribery and corruption. On election eve, a group of voters swam out to the white candidates' yachts and threw overboard a full cargo of rum, peas, rice, lard, flour, which is election lucre. The sleeping giant, the largest in the Bahamas chain, was about to stir. So in Andres, they said, no more this election bribery, and probably Penland was behind that. They went down there and they said, listen, throw all this stuff out so they don't have nothing to bribe the people with. Sometimes you have to take a strong stance to bring change. And they've brainwashed Bahamians so much that they think that if you take a strong stance, that there's something wrong with that or something wrong with you. Change never comes unless you break some eggs. You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. You can't. You cannot be afraid to make change. Some things have to happen. You have to break up the status quo. In the Eastern District of New Providence, where our own Samuel Isaacs was running, the old guard sent out a cry in desperation, meaning the UBP. Send me 200 sandwiches. That's 200 pounds, he meant by saying 200 sandwiches. The price for 200 votes. So in other words, they bought those people votes with sandwiches. Sandwiches. See? It's history. Some bosses tore the pound notes in half, meaning the white man. Some bosses tore the pound notes in half and gave one half to the voter before election day. The voter then agreed to kick the secret ballot and voted openly. After the election, the voter would claim the entire note by matching his half with the half retained by the political boss. Take the money back together. Wow. In West End, Grand Bahama, 2 persons were to be nominated to contest the parliamentary elections, one white, the other black. On the eve of nomination day, the white man paid the black man 1,000 pounds plus a return ticket for Miami, Florida, USA. The following day, the white candidate was acclaimed the winner unopposed. Exactly 1 week after the Labor Day parade, Friday, June 8, 1956, Lyndon O'Pinlan and I were swept into Parliament on the crest of a wave of popular vote. When all the dust had settled, the PLP polled 1/3 of the total votes cast. Yet the House of Assembly, we only won 6 of the 29 seats. So the PLP only got 1/3 of the votes. All right, after they were formed. They didn't get a landslide. They only got 1/3. They were slaughtered. All right. Never be afraid of small beginnings. Eventually, people wake up. I would really love to read more of this to you, but I really want to encourage you to go out and get this book and understand history and understand that we are repeating everything again. Talk to your brothers and sisters. We can't still be all these years later talking about, oh, your MP got to give me something. Like they have that chipped in us. That's like in our DNA. And Pinlin could not win until he got his fellas together and said, listen, the white man out there on them yachts, when they fall asleep, let's go out there and throw all their stuff away. Throw it away. That's rebellion. Let's go to the phone lines. Good evening, you're live. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. My name's Elizabeth, and I just want to keep urging you to fight more for the Bahamas and what you do.
Thank you so much.
And I really thank you for the things for you and speaking up. My grandparents are a true follower of you, and they've been following you on your journey, so I just want to say thank you.
Wow, thank you to you and thank you to your grandparents. I really appreciate that. And we're going to keep up this fight, and we are fighting for you. That's who we're fighting for.
All right. I'm from Florida, so this is a really long way call, so I just want to keep in.
Thank you so much. And we're going to build a country, a Bahamas, that you can come home to.
Yes.
All right. God bless you. Thank you. The book is called The Faith That Moved Mountains, and this is the autobiography of Sir Randall Fox. Remember, he was the one who had to make the decision to let the one vote to let the UBP continue or let the PLP become the government. And they offered him a blank check. This man was so broke because they fought him tooth and nail. The stuff I'm going through is like a repeat. I wanted to read you some of the stuff that he went through, but we just don't have time. I wanted to read you how they took they disbarred him. They got him off every board. He had to go to the United States and be a beggar, basically. You know, he had to work. I mean, if you see what he went through, and at the end of the day, he was the man who had to make the decision. Get this book, The Faith That Moved Mountains. Good afternoon, you're live. Good evening. Good evening, you're live. Listen to the phone, don't listen to your device.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good evening.
How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I am alive.
Hi, Mr. Bain.
Yes, don't listen to your device. Turn down your social media, whatever you're watching on. Just listen to your phone.
I did. It's all the way down.
Okay.
Anyway, this is Miss Arnett. I'm calling from Miami Gardens.
Awesome.
I just wanted to encourage you, like the other caller. Thank you for saving us. I am so worried about you, but God has you, and we will continue to pray for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You have a good evening.
And we'll be coming to Miami very soon. In March, we'll be coming to Miami, so make sure you make your way there. We're going to announce it soon, okay?
I certainly will be there. Laverne Arnett.
All right, Laverne Arnett. Thank you so much. Goodbye. You know, we get a lot of calls from Bahamians in other countries, in the United States, in Canada. We have a huge following in Europe, etc. Because when you move to these countries, you see how things just work and how things just operate. It's hard, man. And you want to live in your country, but you want a country that works. And we keep going back to the same foolishness over and over. Over and over. But Bahamians abroad want change. So y'all come home and vote. Come home and vote. Vote in Pinewood. But come home and vote. I want to encourage you to get my book. It's called Identity Crisis. I've read it to you. The comments, go on Amazon and look at it. Look at the reviews. Persons are saying it's the best book they've ever read in their life. It's very humbling to see, you know, what persons who read the book had to say. All over the world, my book is my book. It's been selling all over the world in countries that I've never been in. Countries I probably won't even go to. But that book has been there and has inspired people all over the world. So someone asked me, what have you been successful at? I make money from my book every month. The money just goes on my bank account. And the book sells and sells and sells. And it's changing lives all over this world. And I'm advising, someone says, Cox said, I ordered that too. Smart move. And let me know what you think about it. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to end there. We did our 2 hours today. There's always more for us to talk about, but I'm going to leave that there. We just wanted to remind the government that we didn't start protests. This was Pinlin and Milo Butler. All right. And they were out there protesting. No one arrested them. No one beat them up, beat them up. We people have been steal the country from the people. All right. No one beat them up. No one slaughtered them. No one did that to them. Look at the face of that demon. Look at his face. Look at the man is clearly possessed. Look at him. Why is he so excited? Like what happened there? I can't even begin to explain that. But back in time again. Today is Black Tuesday. Down with P with Pop or Pop Simonet. Boycott Bay Street. We shall overcome. We're still fighting the same battles today that they fought on that day. The exact same battles. But here, it's 2011. The PLP was out there. And they were encouraging this one. This is where the BTC sale. Police officers struggled to keep protesters on Bay Street from removing barricades and storming Parliament Square. No one was arrested. Not one person. They broke down that barricade. No one was arrested. But this evil prime minister that we now have, this evil prime minister is now doing these kinds of things. This evil prime minister, look, this is the protest. Organized by Shane Gibson. See Alfred Gray in there. It's organized by Shane Gibson, the PLP. And this is where we are today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. Of course, I'm going to leave you like I always leave you with some videos. Again, stay tuned. We're going to be cutting a movie on Saturday at 10 a.m. Meet us at Bacardi Park. And we're going to demolish. We need persons to assist us with accountability. We need certain persons to search houses to make sure no persons are in there. We need to account for how many houses the lady breaks down on her property. And we need strong men. Men, stand up. Men want it. Come out there and support us. Listen, I'll go by myself. But I'm calling and asking you to come out. Women, men, all of you. Let's come out and let's do what we have to do. This woman was abused, kicked off her land. Her house was broken down. And so she is going to take back what was stolen from her. And we, our Bahamians, are going to take back everything that has been stolen from us. This movement is not about Haitians. This is not about hate for Haitians. We don't hate Haitians. We don't want all Haitians to go home. Someone will have to work for us. I don't want them to think that, oh, Lincoln wants to get rid of all Haitians. No. We want you to come the right way. And we want to own and control this country. And you work for us. But right now, you're the labor. We're the labor. And we're being replaced. That is a problem. Don't you think? I think that's a problem. If you're the labor and we the labor, but you're replacing us, how do we survive that? I don't think we're going to be able to survive that. There's a young man who sent a voice message to me. And he wanted me to say that, he now has to listen to what I've been saying because he has been replaced. He's been replaced by the Haitians. He said that they saying that Bahamians are lazy, but he said Bahamians are not lazy. People just are willing to work for cheap. You know why they can do that? Bills we have. They don't have, they live like we can't live. They can do things that we can't do. They have rights that we don't have. We're suffering from apartheid in our own country. Our government is xenophobic against Bahamians. Bahamians are xenophobic against Bahamians. There's people who have a problem with you saying that you are an organic Bahamian. How could you have a problem with that? I am organic Bahamian. I'm a real Bahamian. It's my view. Yes, non-organic Bahamians have a right to this country. You have a passport too, but I'm organic Bahamian. This country is for me and for me first. Understand that. Watch this young man. Because if y'all don't pay attention, if you cause this young man to be replaced by these illegal immigrants, when he comes into your house with a gun, do not blame anyone but yourselves for not standing up for our young men.
Well, Mr. Lincoln Bean, I had to agree with you. I had to wait to agree with you until this shit happened. Well, I started working in the construction sector, and as you could see, I off today. I don't have nothing to do anymore because the Haitians get all the work now. The Haitians get all the construction jobs. So if you was a carpenter and you was work for 200 a day or even 150, you can't make that no more because the Haitians working for 100. So I understand what you're saying, Lincoln. I used to painter and I actually used to helper work, but I can't get a helper spot right now because too much Haitians on the job. There's nowhere for me to work. But they say that the young Bahamian men lazy, they don't want to work, but this is why I ain't to work. And I used to skilled painter, and it's hard for me to go on the site and find a skilled painter job because Anyway, I go there like $80 a day. Like, I'm a skilled painter, I have all my tools. Why you trying to give me? I just give him $80 a day. Hey boss, just make it. Yeah, I make it $80 a day. Oh, that's why, because Haitians taking over. That's it.
It was cut short. I don't know why. Mr. Commissioner, in your plan, if you want to stop crime, stop illegal immigration. Stop illegal immigrants from taking jobs that Bahamians can do. Stop it. Because that young man may just decide to pick up a gun. Because baby can't hear, milk. Baby can't hear, Pampers. And he got to survive, and he got to eat. And anytime he's hungry again, he's going to pick up his 9. My brother, don't go down to the doldrums. Keep hustling and know that a new Bahamas is coming where you don't have to hustle like you're hustling now. A new Bahamas where we're going to benefit from our natural resources. I just want to say this quickly before we go. In all these other countries we always talk about, you hear how people benefit. Texas has mineral rights. So when you buy property in Texas, you have mineral rights, which means that everything above and below your property belongs to you. So the oil that is flowing beneath your property in Texas, you get a percentage. There are people who get checks because their oil is mined by a company, because the oil might be in one big pool and there may be a lot of properties over it. And so you get mineral rights in Texas because you own that property. What happened is conglomerates came and they started buying up all of these properties because they have a bunch of money. And so they're making the money not from the property, they don't even care to put something on it, but they're getting from the mineral rights because of the confirmed oil and gas mines that's underneath it. That's how they're empowering their people. But in their case, greedy corporations were able to take advantage of that. But we want the model that's similar to Qatar, Dubai, Alaska, etc., where we just benefit because our resources are being used. Someone told me a story of Cayman Islands, and it was very interesting. They went to Cayman Islands and they went to the governor's house. And in the back of the governor's house, there was a bunch of children playing on the beach. They were playing in the back of the house. And they were like, why are all these children by the governor's house? It's like, no. All land belongs to the Cayman Islanders. And so the governor lives here, but the land belongs to the people. So he can't tell them they can't be here on this land. That was so cute. That was so interesting. We need to change our mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with some videos. Our aragonite, our sand, our limestone, our natural resources could change our lives forever if we just simply get rid of Philip Brave Davis, Michael Pintard, Dr. Minnis, and all of these people who continue to rape and rob us. The world is running out of sand. We have the most sand there is. Why are we broke? Because we keep selling out. 60 years later, and the same fight they had in this book, we are fighting today.
The market for sand is huge, and the aggregate industry is booming. The Sandmen have not been affected by the economic downturn, and they are predicting steady growth of the demand.
Behind air and water, sand is the most used commodity in the world.
Business is doing very good. I think it is going to grow in the future, and the reason for it is people still traveling down the roads. They got to be replaced. Bridges have to be replaced. People still want to have nice houses, office buildings.
But this optimism has a serious downside, since meeting the need is not always an easy task.
Sand is not something that's easily found like you might think it is. It used to be that you'd have a sand and gravel deposit, and you'd simply go and dig it up out of the ground, so you'd have sand to make your roads, bridges, and buildings out of. But that type of material has all been taken away. It's gone. We've used it already.
now on, most of the sand required to satisfy our bloated appetite will be found beneath the ocean. And the workhorse of the industry is a dredger, a giant tanker equipped with a suction arm that can pump huge quantities of sand to the surface.
So the majority of easily accessible sand in the world is gone. Now the sand that they need is under the ocean. They now have dredgers that just go and suck up the sand. It's happening in our waters every day and is not being controlled. While they're pretending it is not happening. Bahamas, I need you all to wake up. We are all, every Bahamian is wealthy. All of us.
For sand usage is concrete. Okay, just to be clear, cement is the lime and clay-based glue that sticks everything together, and concrete is the final result that you walk on, drive on, and live inside. Concrete is made of 10% cement, 15% water, and 75% sand. The concrete required to build a house takes on average about 200 tons of sand. A hospital uses about 3,000 tons, and a mile of highway requires 15,000 tons.
A source of strategic minerals such as silica, thorium, titanium, uranium. Think about your computers, your electronics. No electronic chips can be manufactured if you do not have high-quality sand.
The minerals extracted from sand are at the core of our hyper-connected society. They form a basic material for microchips, without which our computers, credit cards, bank machines, cell phones, and many other devices would not exist.
When you travel
This may be the best citizenship in the world, and they all have it. Because of this card, they get free land, free education, free weddings, free hospitals, and even a free funeral. It's the citizenship of a country in the Middle East called the United Arab Emirates. This is what life is like for citizens from the Emirate of Dubai. And because the city is so generous, they get the craziest benefits I have ever seen. Are you ready for this? When you are born, your parents pay nothing. Your delivery and checkups for the next 9 months are all free. Then you grow up and you go to school. Local school in Dubai is free! And so are universities, because Dubai will pay for you to get a degree.
I studied at Zayed University and New York University, both for free.
Who's gonna pay for that?
The government.
Then you get married. If you can't afford the wedding, you get $20,000 to throw a wedding. And after marriage, every local Dubai family gets this: free land. Did you get free land?
Yes.
Did you get free land?
Yes.
Did you get free land?
Sure, yes.
And if you cannot afford the home, then you get a grant to build it for free.
I also can't afford building a house. I can get a 0-interest loan on housing.
Zero?
Zero.
If you need to go to the hospitals are free. And if you need surgery that's not available here, they will fly you to another country to get treatment for free. When you become a senior citizen, you get discounts, many discounts. And if you live alone and can't afford it, Dubai will even send a caretaker to look after you for free. And when you die, well, in Dubai, that's also free. Your funeral will be taken care of, and Dubai will build a full tent with air conditioning within 5 hours of your death, next to your home so your friends can come and say goodbye to you. The point of government is to take care of people. And in Dubai, they take it to the extreme. Imagine if every city, every state, every government in the world did this. We would have a much happier world.
Good night, everybody. See you next time. Remember, change ain't coming, change is here.